China is set to become the first true electrostate in human history. On June 23rd, the Chinese National Energy Administration dropped some stats, and one number was just mind-blowing. In May alone, China added a whopping 93 gigawatts of new solar power capacity. That's almost 100 gigawatts. What does 100 gigawatts even mean? Well, the entire UK power grid had about 110 gigawatts of total capacity by the end of 2023. So yeah, China just added almost the equivalent of Britain's whole power grid in solar panels in one single month. 20 years ago, China initiated the top-of-list national mega project, the Three Gorges Dam project. Its capacity is 22.5 gigawatts. That means China added the power equivalent of 4 Three Gorges dams in May. Let that sink in. 1 month, not a year, not a quarter. And this is just solar power alone. Solar still only accounts for about a quarter of China's total electricity generation. This crazy surge was definitely pushed by government policy. This mad rush was a short-term boom for the solar industry. Never mind it might cause some chaos down the road. But it accidentally showed off China's absolutely world-beating ability to build electrification. Kinda like how Thunder Hospital and Fire God Hospital, built during the first COVID-19 breakout, accidentally showed off China's insane construction speed. And building solar like this is super important for China, which isn't exactly swimming in its own fossil fuels. Now let's look back at some eye-popping numbers. In December 2023, a Financial Times reporter stood at a massive coal power plant right next to a mine in Inner Mongolia's Ordos. Watching a giant 18-meter burner blast flames at 1600 degrees Celsius, he wrote in the report, "This single plant generates enough power every hour to cover the City of London's electricity needs for 3 whole days." And get this, that's just one tiny pixel on China's massive power map. Let's first take a look at the coal power. By the end of 2024, China had a staggering 1,190 gigawatts of coal power capacity. That's 2.3 times the combined coal capacity of the US, 236 gigawatts, India, 229 gigawatts, and Russia, 48 gigawatts. Even crazier, a Global Energy Monitor report says 83% of all coal power plants currently being built worldwide are right here in China. These steel behemoths are getting hooked up to the grid at a rate of about 1.2 plants per day. Now the wind power. China has been the world leader in new wind power installations every year since overtaking the US in 2009. That's 14 years straight. In 2023, it added 75.8 gigawatts of wind power. That's like building a decent-sized power station every 3 days. For solar power, on the edge of Ningxia's Mubus Desert sits the world's biggest single-site solar farm, which is 3.4 gigawatts capacity. It sprawls like a black ocean over 300 square kilometers. Its yearly output could power Switzerland for 8 months. In 2024, China's combined wind and solar capacity smashed through 1,450 gigawatts, overtaking fossil fuel power for the first time. That makes up a whopping 42% of the global total for these renewables. For nuclear power, check this. According to the IAEA's PRES database, 28 out of the world's nuclear reactors under construction are in China. That's 48.3% of the global total. One of these, the Shidawan high-temperature gas-cooled reactor, uses special fuel balls that shrug off 1,600 degrees heat. This fourth-generation technology makes China the only country with the entire nuclear power supply chain under its control. Right now, China's total electricity generation is triple that of the US and matches the combined output of all G7 nations. Think about it. 80% of coal plants being built globally is in China. 70% of solar farms under construction is also in China. Over half the world's new hydro and wind are in China again. That means for the foreseeable future, no other country is getting anywhere close to China's power output. The IEA recently published a report stunned the world. China's total power capacity has blown past 3,140 gigawatts. That's more than the combined capacity of the world's 2nd to 8th largest power producers. No wonder the Financial Times crowned China the Electrostate. This title isn't just words. It signals a massive revolution reshaping the world's energy map. China's leading the charge into a whole new era of power. So, what does being an electrostate actually mean? When the German chemical giant BASF getting the electricity bill for its new Zhangjiang plant and sending it home. The bosses there saw that aluminum smelters in Yunnan pay just 0.25 yuan per kilowatt hour, a massive 80% cheaper than what European smelters pay. That explains why a crazy 70% of the world's aluminum, 50% of its polysilicon for solar panels, and 45% of its battery cathode materials are made in China, and why Tesla's Berlin factory gets 60% of its batteries from CATL. Sure, labor costs matter, but it's mostly because German industrial power costs 0.15 euros per kilowatt hour. That's 3.6 times China's average industrial rate of 0.31 yuan per kilowatt hour. Another interesting area: to design things like hypersonic jets and missiles, you gotta test them in wind tunnels. But powering a hypersonic wind tunnel, that's like burning money. The electricity bills are insane. Take China's GF-22 hypersonic wind tunnel as an example. A single test guzzles 5.41 million kilowatts hour, enough to power 50,000 homes for a day. The US quoted $5 billion just to rent one. This isn't just a tech gap. It's built on China's overwhelming power advantage. Then there's AI, another massive power hog. OpenAI says training GPT-4 once took 3 months and burned through 240 million kilowatts hour. Just running it day to day needs another 500,000 kilowatts hour daily. This power hunger forced Microsoft to delay closing an old coal plant in West Virginia. Meanwhile, in China's Ningxia, AI data centers plug straight into solar power microgrids. And AI is just getting started. As it gets bigger and better, its power appetite is going to skyrocket. The rise of the Electrostate means one huge thing: massively lower costs. So how did China become this power titan? Step 1. Major tech breakthroughs. Think ultra-supercritical coal-fired plants running at 1360 degrees Celsius. World-first massive hydro turbines like at Baihetan. Cutting-edge 4th-generation nuclear reactors like Shidawan. And super-precise mirror control systems at solar thermal plants like Dunhuang. China's tech lead across all parts of the power game is seriously impressive. Out in the vast deserts of Ordos, Inner Mongolia, the world's first zero-carbon industrial park is quietly taking shape. Solar power here costs just 0.15 yuan per kilowatts hour, smashing all the old rules about how much energy should cost. This crazy cheap power is all thanks to China mastering the entire tech supply chain. LONGi smashed records with solar panels converting 26.81% of sunlight into electricity. CATL unveiled the world's first solid-state battery storage system with zero capacity fade, a game-changer for storing power. Breakthroughs like these are redrawing the boundaries of what's possible in energy, putting China firmly in the global driver's seat. China's also killing it in ultra-high voltage, the UHV transmission. The Chunji-Guquan 1100 kV UHV DC line set 12 world records, zapping power 3,300 kilometers from Xinjiang to Anhui with barely 1.5% power loss. Dubbed the Power Superhighway, this tech makes China's grid the only one globally that can move massive amounts of clean energy across huge distances, giving China rock-solid energy security. China's also played an absolute masterstroke in securing the metals needed for the energy transition. It's built a global supply chain network covering 23 critical metals like copper, cobalt, and rare earths. 60% of Congo's cobalt, 30% of Chile's lithium brine output. China's got major stakes in all the key sources. These numbers represent the ultimate chips in the energy transition game, giving China the raw muscle for its power ambitions. More importantly, China owns the entire chain, from digging up rocks to making finished products. 78% of the world's battery cathode materials, 65% of solar polysilicon, and 90% of rare earth magnets are made here. This vertical integration slashes the total cost of building 1 gigawatts solar farm in China by 42% compared to the West. This isn't just about China winning. It provides a cheaper, faster path for the whole world to switch to clean energy. China has now locked in a complete loop, from raw materials to processing, then clean power generation, super transmission, smart grid management, and to power consumption. So, what role does this electrostate play in today's globalized world? China's pushing its power export plan, aiming to build a 9-vertical, 9-horizontal global energy internet grid. China's fingerprints are all over the global energy scene. On the Sahara's edge, China built Noor Solar Thermal Plant powers 2 million Moroccans. Over in the Bay of Bengal, Chinese-built Cox's Bazar Wind Farm gave Bangladesh its first ever taste of wind power. These aren't just ads for Chinese tech. They're China actively helping the world go green. China's initiative, Global Energy Interconnection Development and Cooperation Organization, has pulled in 130 countries. Its grid plan is key to making China's UHV tech the global standard. The goal is to connect the world's grids to share clean energy everywhere, offering a made-in-China fix for the planet's energy woes. Off Zhejiang Province's coast, the world's first 16 megawatts floating wind turbine is already spinning. And deep in Gansu's Gobi Desert, the world's biggest solar thermal storage hub is taking shape. These mega projects prove a game-changing idea. When clean energy gets cheaper than just running fossil fuel plants, true energy security comes from tech smarts and manufacturing muscle, not just having oil or coal underground. Remember what Elon Musk said? The future of national power hinges on convenience and talent. AI, chips, robots, all big drivers of the next industrial revolution. They're all massive power guzzlers. As history's first true electrostate, China isn't just crushing it on tech and industry. It's becoming a heavyweight in setting the global energy rules too. Looking back, electricity's journey is packed with breakthroughs. Faraday's discovery on electromagnetic induction phenomenon, Siemens generators, Tesla's AC theory, each leap sent society surging forward. Today, China's right out front, leading the global charge in this energy revolution. Looking ahead, China's power sector will keep using its tech and manufacturing muscle to push the world's energy transition faster. As renewable tech gets better and cheaper, clean energy will become the dominant force globally. China's UHV lines, smart grids, and big storage solutions will be the backbone making this massive shift possible. And China will keep working with everyone, building that global energy internet to share clean power worldwide and help build that community with a shared future for mankind.